I sat down in my one-room apartment after counting the small amount of money I made today from hawking. Exhausted and stressed beyond my limit, I couldn't help but wail. How did I get here? I sat still, remembering how everything unfolded. In the quiet village of Umuokwu, nestled beneath the palm-lace hills of southeastern Nigeria, Adaora was born, the first daughter of Ichie Okonkwo, a proud man bound tightly to old ways. Okonkwo, respected for his wisdom and feared for his stubbornness, had 5 daughters, no sons. The whispers followed him like shadows. A man of his stature, no hair, they sat behind cupped palms. Though his daughters were bright and beautiful, none mattered to him than the son he never had. Adaora, or Ada, as her mother fondly called her, bore the weight of being the eldest. She helped raise her sisters, kept the house in order, and walked with pride of a lioness. Okonkwo was denied a chieftaincy title because he had no sons. That was the final straw. He told his wife he intended to marry a second wife to bear him sons. His wife, a beautiful woman in her 40s, became very sad and refused to eat. She was in deep thoughts and came up with a plan. She then went into her husband's room to talk to him. "Papa Ada," she called him. He nodded. "Let Ada bear you a son. It is a known tradition here that first daughters can bear a child for their fathers. I do not want polygamy. I know the battles I fought in my own father's house because of his many wives. I know my chi will not fail me." She spoke with pain in her voice. He looked at her and nodded, not uttering a word. He too was burdened. He could barely feed his current family, let alone a second wife and more children. He was just a peasant fabric trader, making barely enough for food, but he refused to be ridiculed for not having a son for the rest of his life. At 19, Ada had just finished her senior secondary certificate examination in Enugu when her father summoned her home. "We must talk," he said in a thunderous voice that ended arguments before they began. In the candlelit courtyard, he sat under the ancient ube tree, the same place where he had settled bride prices and clan disputes. "You have come of age," he began. "The gods have not blessed this house with a son, but you, Ada, you can change that." She frowned. "Papa, I don't understand." "You will understand," he said. "You will give me a grandson. The bloodline must continue." It was a request. It was a sentence. Her mother, Mama Ada, only bowed her head in silence, her eyes carrying the shame of 5 wombs that bore only girls. Ada went to her mother's room and expressed her disapproval. "Mama, how can you support Papa on this? I want to further my education. What if I give birth to a girl as well?" Her mother rebuked her. "God forbid my ancestors fail me again. Don't worry, my daughter. Once you give him a son, he will send you to higher institution. Do this for your mother and take away the shame of this family," she pleaded. And so, Ada lay in silence that night, her eyes fixed on the cracked ceiling. As the weight of generations settled on her chest, she decided to fulfill her parents' wishes. They arranged for her to travel a faraway village so she could get pregnant by a non-man who wouldn't return to claim the child. She was to return home as soon as the pregnancy was confirmed, so that her family could care for her. Months passed, her belly grew, and with it the pressure. The elders came. The neighbors gossiped. Even the church women came to pray for a male child. Then came the day. Cries rang out in the village compound. It was a girl. A healthy, beautiful baby girl. But to Okonkwo, it was a curse. He didn't enter the room. He didn't look at the child. He only spat and said, "Another disappointment." Her mother wore a long face and went to her room to cry. Ada, cradling her daughter, wept quietly, not because she had born a girl, but because her father had never learned to love one, and her mother was nowhere to be found. As the villagers returned to their homes, the chants of joy faded into silence. Ada looked at her newborn and whispered, "You will never beg to be enough." And in that moment, though the world around her remained bound by ancient chains, Ada was left alone to care for her child. Her mother didn't hide her disgust, and her father wanted nothing to do with Ada or the child. Eventually, he went ahead and married a second wife. The villagers gossiped even more, and Ada had to leave the village with her child in search of greener pastures. Her dreams of attending a higher institution, marrying the love of her life, and building a family had all been crushed, sacrificed in an attempt to help her father fulfill his dream. And now she's left wondering how she will ever answer the question her daughter keeps asking, "Where is my father?"